I like to. I like to. I like to love you every day. I like to love you, love you. I like to love you.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Get Real Bass Fishing. Today we are going to be talking about why to use braided fishing line while fishing. So it's December, it's getting cold. For most of us it's the winter. We could be getting ice, so we're not going to be fishing as much unless we're ice fishing. But also the action is dying down for some of us down in the south too, and it'll be starting up real soon. So before you know it, you're going to be out on the water, you're going to be catching fish, and the best thing to do during the winter in the slow times is to stock up on some knowledge and some fishing gear. So what I'm going to give to you is my knowledge on braided fishing line, why I fish braided fishing line, strictly braided fishing line. And then two, I'm going to give you some opportunities to buy some of the braided fishing line that I use. Alright, so let's get into it and give you guys some of the winter knowledge for the spring and summer fishing season. So why braided fishing line? Two of my reasons are it lasts long and it's super strong. So let's say 10-pound braided fishing line is about the diameter of, let's say, 4 or 5-pound monofilament or something along those lines. So you're getting stronger fishing line that's going to last a whole lot longer compared to using a thicker fishing line, which would be the monofilament or fluorocarbon, which is going to break easier and you're going to have to replace it a whole lot quicker, and it's thicker. So it's basically the best of both worlds. I love braided fishing line. This is why I'm making this video. Like I said previously, this is the time of the year to order what you need, and I use KASTKING Fordyce braided line. So let's get this so you guys can know what to purchase. It's more of a stiffer braided line as opposed to the other braided fishing line that I use, which is the KASTKING Super Power braid, which I am all out of because I basically put it on 4 or 5 reels. I got a really big one. It wasn't that expensive. I think it was like 1,500 yards, and it wasn't that expensive. So that's one thing I like about KASTKING, is it's inexpensive and it's great quality. I know guys that use this on 60-pound stripers in the rocks, and they use 45-pound braid. Alright, so this stuff is good stuff, but like I said, with the stripers in the rocks, braided fishing line is really abrasion resistant. You know, it can rub up against rocks, it can rub up against brush when you're flipping and pitching, it can rub up against weeds, anything that it is toothy fish. It's going to last longer and it's going to be a whole lot more abrasion resistant than monofilament or fluorocarbon line, which could snap on rocks, snap on teeth, snap on weeds, and snap on brush. So braided fishing line saves you money in the long run, and it also saves you fish. A couple extra things that braided fishing line does that not every other fishing line does is it has zero stretch. There are some other types of fishing line that has zero stretch, but braided has zero stretch, super durable, and it floats. So when it comes to fishing in the trees or logs with like zero spooks or frogs in the weeds or lily pads, and you get a big old bite, a big bass comes up, takes your frog, brings it down into the lilies, wraps you around, you can basically cut the lilies with this stuff because you can cut your finger too, but it's really strong and it's abrasion resistant. So floating is great for top water. That way, if you're using a Zara spook, the Zara spook doesn't go down like this coming towards you. It'll float the way it's supposed to. If you use fluorocarbon, which sinks, your Zara spook, instead of sitting normally like this, it's going to sit down like this and not work correctly. Alright, so that's another reason to switch over to braided line. Another thing that I love about braided fishing line is the fact that it has basically zero memory coming out of the spool. So like I can take this spool and put it onto my rod and it's right there, I can cast normally. Zero memory, so it's not going to be wound up when I cast it. My slack line isn't going to be wound up, which can cause a lot of knots, wind knots, especially with the bait casters. I hate using fluoro and mono on the bait casters. I love braid. But Another thing that comes with braided fishing line is the fact that it's very sensitive. So when you're casting out, you can feel, whether it's a spinnerbait or a lipless crankbait or a crankbait in general, you can feel that bait coming in. You can feel the blades moving. You can feel that crankbait shaking. It's great for finesse fishing, drop shot, Texas rigging, Carolina rigging, jig fishing. You can feel everything on the bottom, and you can feel the slightest little bite to set that hook, and you have that fish. While setting the hook, since there's no stretch, you basically have that fish. You can use a lighter rod if you need to, but I prefer it for all of the reasons I just told you guys. Most of you are not going to switch 100% to braided line. I basically fish 100% braided line no matter what the lure I'm using. I don't use fluoro leaders. I don't use mono leaders. I don't use straight fluoro, straight mono. I am 100% braided fishing line. And I feel as if a informational video is not an informational video unless there's experience. And I have been using braided fishing line for 8 years straight, and I will never go back to anything else. Alright? So this is me being 100% real with you guys to get braided fishing line. You can still use your fluoro, use it as a 10-foot leader or something like that, but I love braided fishing line. You can use it as your main line. It saves you a whole lot of money. It lasts more than one season, so you don't have to keep replacing it. Even though fluoro and mono, they're a little bit cheaper than braid, but you don't have to keep replacing it. It's there when you need it. It doesn't fray as easy, doesn't snap as easily. Great for flipping, pitching, frog fishing, topwater, lipless crank fishing on the bottom. It's basically an all-around great fishing line. I highly encourage you guys to at least try it. Try the Fordyce braid from KASTKING. Try the Super Power braid. If you can go anyway, go to the Super Power braid. That's what I use the most of. I have the most experience and the most confidence in telling you guys to get the Super Power braid. I use 15-pound all the way down to 10 and even up to 20. So if you want to stay in between those ranges for largemouth bass, do it. If you're fishing deeper, if you're fishing grassier and weedier water, go ahead and go up to 30. Some guys use 80-pound braid. I really don't see the need for that unless you're throwing 2-ounce weights. I don't really see the need for that. But I highly encourage you guys to do that. Do some research. If you guys want more videos like these informational videos now up until the fishing season, because it's getting cold, it's getting to that temperature where ice isn't on the water, but then there's ice on the water, it's not thick enough. So fishing is going to be slowing down. I can do more informational videos, that way we can all gain knowledge for the 2018 fishing season. Like I said in the beginning, winter is a great time to stock up on knowledge and stock up on rods, reels, baits, fishing line, whatever it may be, so that we're prepared for the next fishing season. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Stay real, smooch and release. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, comment what you want to see in the next video below, and subscribe. It helps us out. You don't know how much subscribing helps. It helps so much. Please hit that subscribe button. I appreciate it. Share this with your buddies, share this video, so that we can all gain knowledge, make a community. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Stay real, smooch and release, have some fun on the water. Bye. Three and a half. His eye is taken out.